Hello everyone, welcome back to part 2 of this replay between Mardow and Liquid TLO. One thing I wanted to say first is I will try to make this a little bit smaller. And I built this off of a different computer and I did not know how big this actual pixel was, so I will readjust it. Let me know what you guys think of this whole entire, I guess it might even be considered an advertisement banner that's also happening to cover up the replay time. Let me know if you like it, let me know if you don't, or if it needs to have any adjustments over there. Gonna go ahead and get this replay started, and here we are. So Hellions and Marauders now moving out. Team Liquid sitting with a fair number of siege tanks, 4 siege tanks, almost 24 Marines, and a couple Hellions. So TLO should have a fairly strong unit combination. Army-wise, both of them are fairly even. However, it looks as though Mardow may be trying to mass up something, trying to get a lot of larvae. Mutalisk continuing to do that harassment. Marines now coming from that low ground will be able to focus down one, perhaps two of those Mutalisks, seize those Marines, and now able to pull away. Missile turret not being stopped or being repaired by those SCVs, so those Mutalisks are going to have a difficult time trying to take down that missile turret. Mutalisks continuing to do a little bit of a push here. Siege tanks and Marines, and now Team Liquid on the move, or TLO now on the move, perhaps going to take down this hatchery. Mardow going to lose his high yield mineral hatchery to these siege tanks and Marines. That still more siege tanks, Marauders, SCVs continue to reinforce. Broodlings coming out in order to try to take down some of those Marines, but able to take it down very easily. However, we now have some Banelings and an Infestor in position. So the Infestor may try to do that fungal growth, try to stop those units, and once those units are stopped, they will be very susceptible to a Baneling bomb. Siege tanks now sieging up on that low ground just outside that range. Marines perhaps going to come in, and Hellions trying to come in as well. We'll see how this is going to work. And in come those Banelings. Those Banelings, however, do not have that movement upgrade, so moving very slowly. Mutalisk still harassing over here, not taking down any of the refinery, as Team Liquid continuing to just try to move around. Down go a couple of these a couple of those Overlords, as those Medevacs, and still carrying one of those Marines for some strange reason. Medevac a little bit low on energy. Also, the Medevac not able to heal and move at the same time. Creep tumors being spread like cancer across this whole entire map, trying to get a lot of movement speed upgrades. Overlords, however, getting taken down. So Mardow almost supply lock at 151 over 158. Vikings now coming into position to try to take down these Mutalisks. Mutalisks, however, will be able to pull away as they have a faster movement speed than those Vikings. Vikings, however, do have a better range, so that does balance out the fight just a little bit. Roaches and Banelings now moving out. Really curious on how these Roaches are going to be used. Oh, in come those Zerglings. Zerglings trying to get a couple hits off on those, Hellions. Able to take down one or two. One of those Roaches, however, at 40 hit points now, taking perhaps a little bit too much focus fire earlier. We are now going to tier 3, and we may see Broodlings. Spire Tech is already up. I do want to see Broodlings, as I don't think I've seen TheLittleOne try to deal with Broodlings yet. Wow. Sorry. It looks as though Team Liquid was trying to take down his own tech lab, as that tech lab was getting in his way. Team Liquid, TLO now flying out with a command center. However, will be stopped by this Overlord that is currently spawning creep. And as soon as that Overlord dies, Mardow will know that TheLittleOne is trying to, in fact, take an additional expansion. Mardow also taking the center expansion as well. I don't know if I quite agree with this. This is a very aggressive mood, trying to spawn all across the map. He is, in fact, sitting at 181 food, and has a very large army. In terms of resources, he is sitting also on a fairly sizable income as well, so he will be able to replace that army fairly easily. Mutalisk now coming in, perhaps to try to focus down those Vikings. Those Vikings may take a fair amount of damage. However, siege tanks and Marines now coming in, and those Mutalisks are just going to be slaughtered to those Gauss rifles of those Marines. Command center will be able to land in just a moment as that creep dries up, and the command center once again has position in order to has position in order to land himself. Metalopolis gonna perhaps try to focus down that command center and at least get a couple hits off. Back over here, we now have the Marines and the Marauders ignoring the main army that's trying to push in and wanting to take down the hatchery over here. Morrow trying to get a large amount of minerals. Marine now coming up, quickly gonna grab control of that Xel'Naga watchtower. Mass Marauders, Marines, and Siege Tanks now coming in. Things are not looking good. Now Roaches coming in as well, so Roaches may be able to swarm this position. Siege Tanks on that high ground trying to blast through some of these Roaches. Oh, nice fungal growth stopping a lot of those units, and Team Liquid may just get steamrolled by all of these Roaches. Roaches doing a little bit of move and attack, trying to use that long cooldown to their advantage, and Team Liquid taking significant losses here, unable to take down the hatchery on this high yield location. And the income is now just going to be a very large income difference. Mardow able to take 2,000 minerals a minute versus Team Liquid's only 100 minerals, or 1,000 minerals a minute. A couple of those mules getting taken down by those Roaches. Mardow with that speed upgrade as well. We are not going to tier 3, however, and we are not even researching the additional upgrades for tier 3, even though we are currently at Hive Tech. Hydralisk now being produced as well, so Hydralisk Roach going to be coming in sometime soon. Marauders on this low ground, the unit combination is very, very weak for TLO right now. I believe if Mardow just hit, if he was just a little bit more aggressive, he could just overrun this position, even though the little one is on that high ground. Couple infestors now coming into position. Those Marauders able to just focus down those infestors so easily. And now, perhaps he should have just tried to take down this last orbital command. SCVs now coming in. Marauders on that high ground, continuing to engage, continuing to push, and just still, both sides taking significant losses. Those Roaches able to breach that tight choke point, and even though Siege Tanks and Marauders are continually being produced, it may be too much, especially as the income of TLO down to 80 minerals. He is TLO sitting at 350 minerals, and he is not mining any additional minerals at this stage. Roaches continue to come in. More of those Marauders getting taken down. Down goes another Marauder. Down. Well, oh no, those two Marauders, very, very low hit points, able to stay in the game. However, Team Liquid's or TLO. Wow, that name just confuses me sometimes. TLO, the little one, forcing to say GG. So Mardow pretty much expanding all across the map, able to get a significant economic advantage. I do not know how this high yield mineral expansion was lost. My apologies, I wasn't even watching that. As I was watching the main fight and the main push by Mardow. Anyways, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. I hope you guys enjoyed this two-part replay between Team Liquid and Mardow here on Metalopolis. Trying to let this video run a little bit longer, so some of you guys who tend to look at the YouTube minutes do not know when the game ends. And yeah, still waiting on some feedback. Let me know how you guys like what I'll call the ad bar for now. It also blocks out that replay timer as well. Thanks again.